Vision. We definitely know that. What's up, guys? We just wanted to make a little announcement before this episode starts today. We want to give a big shout out to our friend Whapo. We've known him for a while, and we actually want to give him a big shout out because he just dropped this new album. We really appreciate if you go and listen to our homeboy. It's a great album. It's an amazing album.
It is a really good album.
For hometown San Antonian, for him to go and do those things. So you guys really should show him the love and support. And we actually will be. Yeah,
we'll put his somewhere here on the screen. I think in the corner somewhere. Very good album. It is really good. I listened to it a couple times. It's really good.
And so, we're hoping to get him on the show sometime soon. Yeah, also, so stay tuned in later episodes. But of course, go check it out. The album is called.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Embarrassing. I'm so sorry. Do You Feel My Pain? The album is called. The album is called Do You Feel My Pain by Whapo. Out on Spotify. I think on a lot of other. I use Spotify. It should be on Apple Music too. Go check it out. We'll put his IG tag somewhere here, and you guys can go follow. Check out his link tree, whatever.
We love Whapo.
We love you, bro. I'm sorry for messing that up right there, but
go check it out.
Keep doing your thing, please.
Thank you. And 3, 2. Happy Batman weekend, guys. We finally got it after 2 years.
After 2 years of waiting, we finally got this movie.
And I have to say, hold on, Brandon. Let me drink this water real quick.
I'll fill in for him. I have to say, it was worth the wait. It really, really was. I'll be honest.
All right, Brandon. Let's cut the bullshit. Let's not stop the hype. Let's This movie really was it. This was the one.
This was the one.
Oh shit!
This is by far the most perfect movie I think I've watched in recent years.
And I've actually heard a lot of people that have I'm not even gonna say it about even fucking superhero movie wise. Cinematically wise, they nailed every single aspect for rip the Batman helmet. They did every single aspect perfect for something that's actually supposed to be based on an actual character. It's probably better than most bibliographies.
Yeah. No, I would agree.
So, again, we've talked about this episode in the past before already too, and we also, of course, we did our little what we thought of how it was gonna be, and everything that we said,
I think was pretty true.
Was pretty fucking accurate to how the fucking movie was gonna be.
I'm sure a lot of people did expected this movie to be good, but that's what we said. I said I was really excited for it. I think we both said it was gonna be the best movie of the year, and it held up to that for sure. It definitely held up to that one.
I'm looking at it right now. It says 92% liked the movie. IMDb gave it an 8.6 out of 10. That's just as okay.
Tough one.
It should have been a little bit higher because if you look at it, that's
a lot higher.
That's almost the exact same rating that Spider-Man No Way Home has.
I think they're very harsh. That's why. I think.
Well, I believe IMDb is actually one of the most main sourced.
Yeah. I definitely.
I don't give a fuck around Tomatoes.
Yeah, I definitely listen to IMDb over that one. You said IGN gave it a 10?
IGN gave it a 10.
They never do that.
They never do that. And that's where, again, a lot of people don't really like how IGN views shit because they think their ratings are super dumb and whatnot. Before we get further on, I am eating throughout this episode.
He is going to be snacking. This guy was pretty hungry, apparently. I went with him.
I'm just going to put bat in front of every single one of them. I got my bat chips, my bat sandwich, my bat sauce.
Bat witch?
Bat
crispy?
Bat crispy, and my bat water.
With the bat pop.
Shout out bat pop.
Shout out.
I actually want to get to the detail of it, but in a bit too. But rating wise, we'll start off rating wise. So in my opinion, Brandon, rating wise, I do want to say I give it a superhero movie 10 out of 10. I'm not gonna lie, it was a 10 out of 10 superhero movie. Okay. Cinematic movie, I'm gonna give it a really high 9 out of 10. which is still not bad because if I'm giving it a plain 10 out of 10, I'm giving it a really high 9 out of 10. And the only because I told you this at the end of the movie why I'm giving it a really high 9 out of 10 because Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne needs to speak the fuck up. Yeah. It's that if you go into the movie and it just depends on like what kind of audience you have, you really need everyone to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you need to pretty quiet. We did have a guy next to us that was pretty audible, I guess. He was laughing. He would laugh pretty loud at some points, and it's like he didn't need to be that loud about it, but
especially there
was a lot of commotion in our theater, to be honest.
Going into the movie, we hear dialogue of Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne, but only we hear it at the beginning of the movie and the end of the movie.
Yeah, it's like he's narrating.
The way he says it sounds exactly how I would make a Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
But the only time, like that's when he sounds perfect right there. Of course, I'm pretty sure because narrating wise, they got him up close in the fucking mic. But movie wise, we see he is a different Bruce Wayne. Like we called it, we definitely knew he was going to be more edged out.
This movie, in my opinion, he wasn't really Bruce Wayne that much. He was honestly Batman like the whole time. Which is fine, and I think a lot of the reasoning for that being was that, I mean, he's only 2 years into this whole Batman thing, and he hasn't really stepped into the Batman role yet, you know what I mean? He's kind of, right now he's trying to just be Batman, rather than being Bruce Wayne. You can kind of see in the movie, he's kind of not doing Bruce Wayne stuff. He's just focusing on being Batman, and I think as time goes on, he'll definitely balance out both the lives a little more, and he'll step a lot more into the Bruce Wayne persona type thing, but you can definitely tell for this movie that he wasn't really Bruce Wayne. And again, he was Batman.
I don't know if that's because in the comics he balances out pretty well in the beginning. In my opinion, because I know again Brandon's not a fucking comic nerd, but like he does balance out pretty well. I know that there does come to times where has to like push and shove. I think a perfect example of this comparison to, I guess, somewhat of a Batman is you ever play the Telltale games? The Telltale Batman games?
Is that the one with that really weird animation?
Yeah. It's like, you know how they did like The Walking Dead and all that stuff or whatever. Well,
I haven't played it, but I know what it is.
So in that they kind of show like, I guess, a younger-esque version of Batman in it, and he does show a lot of portrayal how he really does put Batman first before he puts his own life. But in this movie, he really pushes away from Bruce Wayne life. Yeah. It's like he fucking hates being Bruce Wayne. Yeah, he hates
being like a Wayne. You could tell, but
like,
I mean, it is what I think it fit the whole. They made it work basically in the whole vibe of the movie. Just, I mean, it's a Batman movie, of course, so it works.
But. So I was really interested with that. Again, I even said that like going into it, I was like, man, this Bruce Wayne looks really, really weird. Yeah. And just because I think his Robert Pattinson's paleness actually really went well with the way that the city was as well.
They did Gotham very well.
They did Gotham very well. I say they didn't do Gotham well as in showing it.
They didn't do it as well as
like as an actual city wise, but as the crime wise, crime weight.
They nailed the crime aspect and how Gotham is meant to be. They nailed that. Not like the look. Yeah, the look. You're right. It could have been. It was definitely like a modernized Gotham because all the time you see Gotham in anything prior, it's always supposed to be kind of castle-ish, I guess Transylvania-ish type city. You know
it's a very weird structured,
supposed
dark
to be
city.
very, very ancient, almost ancient type thing. Yeah.
You know that one part in the movie, like it's basically, like the only time I can remember is in like the beginning is that the screen, where like he's driving around his motorcycles and all like the screens or whatever. I think that kind of looked like they used Market Square for that scene.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I think
so. I know that in the Arkham games, it like in Arkham Knight, the city looks somewhat to what that city that we got in the movie kind of looks like, but again, they were able to add more animation in games, of course, than they were in movies. Yeah. I think they were really just focusing on the acting aspect throughout this whole movie, in which they fucking knocked it out of the park. Like it was
every single one of them killed each and every role that they
had. I don't know. I haven't haven't seen a movie in a really, really long time, or maybe I haven't even seen it yet, where I've seen every single role play. No, not just portrayed. They portrayed every single part perfectly, but where we know it's a Batman movie, but they make it seem like it's their movie too. Like the way the actors are like expressing it to where like the people are like, oh shit, like I really, instead of saying like, you know how most people are just like, oh, I fucking hate the villains or whatever, you really love the villains in this. Fucking
kind of do.
A main example for Colin Farrell. I know a lot of people give him a little hate whenever like the first like came out, like, oh, why the hell are they casting this guy? He doesn't even look like it. They put makeup on him, of course, and people were like, a lot of people were leaning like, oh, okay, maybe, but even at that, like, what the fuck?
Nah,
he fucking ran this.
He killed it.
Take it easy, sweetheart.
Take it easy, sweetheart.
Bro, like, there's something about like his because I know I've seen him. The
way he talked, the way he acted, and everything was really great.
It was crazy the way that he did it, especially like in it was Mobster Penguin. You can kind of see it, and even in the comics, you know, Penguin out of all the other villains is he's how do I say it? He's sane more than the other villains because he's not like a psycho. He's literally just like a fucking.
He's more grounded. He's kind of like a. Would you say like Kingpin-ish?
Yes, I would definitely go with that. Well, of course, we do have Kingpin figures in Gotham, but I mean, but like the way portraying that, I would say that as well. Again, he's more of like I don't even think he even deserves to be put in like
street
Arkham.
Level? Like he's like street level.
Yeah, he's street level. He's not even. He would not like. I would not. If I was Batman, I would definitely not throw him in Arkham. I just send his ass to jail.
That's fair. That's a fair point. Yeah, I get you. But yeah, no, he killed that role as Penguin though. That was honestly, this is some of the best acting I think I've seen in in a recent hero film in terms of like pure acting, acting and everything.
I think at the bottom of the list, though, I'm gonna try at the bottom first. Bottom of the list, I honestly think Zoe Kravitz. Again, like it wasn't a bad performance. No. Listen. It wasn't a bad performance. I'm not hating. I'm just saying that like great performances all around. It's just out of all that, she's like at the bottom. You know what I mean?
She was like, she wasn't in it as much as I want her to be. Like just as a character, like as Catwoman, I don't think she was. I don't know. They kind of like what's the word? They like sidelined her a lot, kind of like she'd come in for like a brief second, she'd kill it, but then like they'd kind of like shove her. It was more. They'd like shove her off, and then
it was more so Lena Kyle than Catwoman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like we see Catwoman like twice, realistically like twice, which is cool, but they could have done a lot more.
I just finished my bat chips.
No more crunching now.
Little dust right there. But that I would go Zoe Kravitz at the bottom.
I hate you.
Next would be it's in between Colin Farrell and Robert Pattinson because I honestly think Robert Pattinson. No, okay, wait. Zoe Kravitz, Jeffrey Wright for playing James Gordon. Because even at that, I know a lot of people. Of course, James Gordon. I know. I had heard. I'm not gonna say it like that, but a lot of people were kind of skeptical because you know how like, again, not even just for this movie, but in past movies there have been skepticalities of black actors getting casted as white parts.
Like race swaps? Yes,
like race swaps. And a lot of people either love it or they hate it. But the more I heard of it, a lot of people were kind of iffy about it because we've always seen James Gordon as that white bush officer. And I think, again, my favorite James Gordon is still the one from the Dark Knight trilogy. I forgot what his name was, but he's an amazing actor too. I've seen him in a couple other films. But I thought it was going to be like who had said it? I had a friend that had said, I thought he's probably gonna make James Gordon act as like a black aspect of a James Gordon. I know what I mean by that is that we kind of see it. I noticed it in the beginning of the movie where he's talking to Batman. He's like, "Come on, man!" Like kind of like talking like that again, a stereotypical type thing, right? Okay. But the more I watched him act throughout the movie, I didn't see color. I saw James Gordon. Does that make sense?
The more as I was watching the movie, I was kind of more watching it like this is really its own thing. You know what I mean? Like rather than comparing it to other things, like I was like, this is its own Batman movie. Like this is definitely its own type of take on it. Like it's its own unique and fresh take, but it's all like it's a good take. It's not like a unique take that didn't work. It's a unique take that did excellent. That I think was flawless.
Weird casting. I'm still gonna say it is
to
me. It's a weird casting.
It is weird casting.
That amazing. It worked out amazing. That's just the funny thing is.
Yeah.
After that, I'll put Colin Farrell. Of course, we just talked about him. Robert Pattinson, bang up job as Batman. I mean, like, again, like my favorite Batman. Like, dude, that shit was crazy.
It was really good. Yeah.
The way he and I gotta say that what they did perfectly about this character is that they didn't make it. A lot of people don't know this, but like. And I think we're like in that era, of course, of people like our age that our Batman is Christian Bale. You can kind of say that because that whole Dark Knight trilogy was whoever is in the 2000s. Yeah. That was what we noticed, but like we got so familiar with him that if a lot of people don't know that Batman never hid his voice, and what I mean by that is like the whole like everyone's familiar with. I'm Batman, and you know, like the growl and all that shit. He literally just sounds the exact same. Like if you ever notice, like
he kind of makes it a little bit like different, but other than
but like most superheroes, when they're masked, they just talk the exact same. They don't mask anything or whatever. Again, I get it. I get what they were trying to go for there, and what's his name? Christian Nolan.
I will say I hate that Batman voice. Since I told you I just watched it yesterday, not for the first time. It wasn't my first time watching it, but I just rewatched it yesterday, and I was like, I really hate this guy's Batman voice. Like it just it annoyed me.
Like but it was like I was like, okay, it's a new take, and it's because you also got to notice that like Christian Bale is that type of actor that likes to mix things up a bit. Bat Sammy out right now.
Like Bat Sammy is coming out. He's got the hot sauce on deck. No, I get it. Like I get why they did it. I'm just gonna say that personally though, that Batman voice really annoyed me. Moving on.
It grew on to me. And again, like whenever I first saw it, I was little, of course. Like it was just like how I was supposed to go. But the way he did it is the other thing. You know what I hate. But before we get into that, just because you brought that up. I hate Ben Affleck's voice more because it's literally just a fucking robot voice. You ever notice that? That's just a voice over. I didn't like that. See that? Now that's stupid. That's a little
stupid,
too much.
Like automated voice. Yeah.
Back to Robert Pattinson. He used his regular voice.
And it worked.
It worked. But also, I think the reason that he used his regular voice also is because the Bruce Wayne that we got.
Doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like he talks so much.
Yeah. So like
he doesn't
no
talk a lot.
Know.
Yeah.
It's like people know who Bruce Wayne is, but he's not around, you know?
Exactly. He's very reclusive. I think he kind of hides in his Wayne Tower, whatever, because he's just focusing on. Like we said, he's focusing on Batman. Oh my god!
Same day, I don't care.
This guy just dropped. What was that? A tomato?
Avocado.
This guy just
continue.
Spilled avocado. You just made me lose my train of thought. God damn it. Oh, he says it in the beginning. Whenever he's like narrating, he's talking about how being Batman for the last 2 years has turned him into a night owl. And you see that. So you could tell that that's literally what he's doing. He's not Bruce Wayne. He's kind of letting Alfred and whatever other businessmen handle everything. And then at night, he just goes off and does Batman shit.
Yeah, I think it's kind of weird how on that take, a lot of people aren't really like skeptical of like, oh, if he's not doing this, and where the fuck is Wayne and all that? Like, what is he doing in his free time? I would be like,
I'd be
like, nah, I think that dude's Batman. Nah, but I mean,
put it side by side, and you're like, no one else seeing this.
No one else sees that shit. But I actually do think that again, over time, I think that Batman will develop into more of like he'll be able to balance out even more, and I think that
exactly because he's a very young Batman.
After again, like everybody's performance was amazing, but of course, the performance that mattered the most was Robert Pattinson's. So the only reason that this, again, I'm just going on skeptical. I'm pretty sure they're gonna go on a trilogy with this. I want to believe that they will.
They're definitely setting up for a next one.
definitely sign up for the next one. I do believe that we will actually have, after that performance, we'll have Robert Pattinson for a while. And the thing is funny is that like Robert Pattinson, I don't think he didn't think it wasn't gonna work out, but he was just like, man, if this really doesn't work out. Did you see that thing that he said? He's like, if this doesn't work out, I'm gonna do porn.
Yeah, I did see that. That's a good one. I mean,
hey, everyone should have gone on a petition. I'm trying to see fucking Robert Pattinson clap some cheeks, but
we were robbed.
We were robbed. It'd be like that. It was too good of a movie.
Everyone go downvote Batman himself right now. Psych.
But no, I really want to see him develop because again, this looks like the youngest. I'm not saying he is, but this looks like the youngest Batman that we've gotten. Yeah. So the more and of course Robert Pattinson, I think he has good.
Do you know what year it took place in?
They never say it.
I know they said like his parents died, like I think like something around 2001.
Oh, so
I think was the year around the time of his parents like dying at the theater and everything, which would have been, who knows how old he was then, but it's around that time. So it's gonna be, I think, roughly around this. Like this time period.
Well, if you look at it, then we definitely have a Batman in his 20s then. Yeah. So at least like, like maybe like 27 maybe? Yeah. 28. And the good thing about Robert Pattinson is that, of course, for the ladies who ever listening knows that he has really good genes.
I know.
Twilight.
I got two people in mind that, shout out to y'all, that I talk about them a lot. The only reason they saw this movie was to see Robert Pattinson. Just Robert
Pattinson. Emo Robert Pattinson. This is basically like Tobey Maguire-esque, but...
yeah, fair.
But, we'll see exactly how he gets to age, and, I mean, I'm hoping that they bring in a Robin-esque figure later on, too, because, I mean, we haven't really gotten anything like that of a dynamic duo in a really, really long time, and the way that they did it, they really shit on it. And by mean I mean I think Val Kilmer was alright, but whenever they had that team up with George Clooney and the other Robin, that shit was just fucking dog shit. Yeah. And if you want to hear more about that, listen to the past Batman episodes. I brought up that fucking movie.
Listen to like the first episode
and like the other Batman episode, but we're not gonna get into that. But again, he has potential. He has potential to grow. He can really switch. Now that we see that he's this type of character, we can really see that he can flip the switch and become an even better Bruce Wayne-esque and a better Batman from being this... Yeah. Because we see that...
I think we're going to see more Bruce Wayne if he does make 3 movies in the third movie. Because the second movie... Well, I really like how they... I don't know if it's a spoiler, but like the way they end this movie is he kind of steps into the actual Batman role. You know what I mean? Like the whole beginning of the movie, he's... fresh 2 years out as Batman, so he's literally just the vigilante that everyone thinks he is and everything, and then at the end he really steps into the more hero side of Batman rather than just the vigilante.
And what I wanted to actually say about that is that most of these Batman movies, and well, actually not even most, in the past you see that I think maybe again this is just going off of memory. Michael Keaton. He kind of played a vigilante-esque role, but the more you continue to go on as of those Batmans, like the cops like him and all this stuff. Yeah. The only other time that we really see him, like I guess, vigilante-esque is in the Dark Knight trilogy and in this, in which I really know that they nail it well whenever it comes to Batman, because the only other person I could think of as a vigilante-esque is Spider-Man, but whenever you see that in movies, I think the only one that really portrayed it well was The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. Because I think in Sam Raimi, they hate him for like a bit and then he just becomes a superhero real quick. You don't really see it in the Tom Holland series. Andrew Garfield, you see it really well, especially just in that first movie, but then the next one is like right away. And I think they kind of did that exactly with the Batman movie. Vigilante, the only basically friend that he really has in the movie is Jim Gordon. And everyone's just like looking at him. They call him a freak in the movie. Like
he has like no respect from the police force.
And it doesn't help that throughout the movie that again, now we're gonna get to my favorite actor of the whole movie.
But it's the greatest acting performance in a minute.
But again, it doesn't really help his case that throughout the whole time, again, if y'all don't know, the main villain of the movie is the Riddler.
The Riddler.
Shout out Jim Carrey. I'm fucking with y'all. Shout out Paul Dano.
No.
But it doesn't help his case as a vigilante-esque whenever it comes to every single riddle that the Riddler leaves. It's to Batman. So it makes other people, especially the Force, that are like, why the fuck is he coming after Batman? Do they know each other? Is there something bigger going on here? Yeah. Like, it's just making him look like a bad rep on him to the point where Batman can't do anything at those points yet to prove, oh, like, I'm really here to help y'all out. Because no one's going to really believe him. Fuck, I'm gonna be honest. If I saw that Batman costume, I'd be freaking the fuck out.
They emphasize that like Batman is more of a force to be feared than anything. And I think that's why all the cops and everything are afraid of him.
The whole shadow-esque that they mentioned in that, bro.
That was the greatest. That was some of my favorite parts of the movie. Was this guy was literally stepping out of the shadows whenever Batman would come on screen, literally stepping out of shadows, and it was crazy.
I think that my favorite one was
so cool.
You know what? I won't say my favorite shadow scene until I actually bring up the Riddler now. So, guys, Paul Dano. He is already glorified as a perfect actor. He's actually been in a whole bunch of other movies that I love. But when I knew that he was cast, I think this was the only casting I was okay with, because he's played a psychopath in the past in a movie. Well, but he's played like a really like weird fucking characters in past movies.
He just seems like the kind of guy that would.
Prisoners. It was Jake Gyllenhaal and.
Oh yeah.
He plays.
That's a good movie.
That's a good movie. And then what else can I compare him to? Let me get one. He wasn't Looper. A lot of people actually don't know that. He's like has like a very
I don't know what that is.
Semi-small part. You should watch it. We should definitely watch it. I forgot what else there was, but he plays weirdos, and he has that. No offense, Paul. You have that weirdo face.
He has a psychopathic look, honestly.
And
he has that. I don't want to say this, but he's got like that school shooter type look. You know what I mean?
Especially with the glasses.
Especially with those glasses on,
But going into that, I knew that he was already perfect for the part, but I didn't know how amazing he was gonna play. He played the perfect quality of what just a normal psychopath would be. I know that there's
a regular serial killer.
A regular serial killer. I know a lot of people actually gave hate on the costume. I like the costume because it hasn't been portrayed like that before. That's why I liked it. Again, how do I say it? It's not unique, but it's an original suit.
It made more sense being the kind of character that the Riddler is, that he would have some weird ass looking costume, as opposed to how the Riddler is in comics. He's got like a silly ass costume, and it's like.
Shout out Jim
Carrey. That was the most comic accurate that we've gotten, but he always has like a silly.
Jim Carrey is better than Paul Dano. No. Get your ass back here.
That's right.
Come back, Brandon. You know I'm fucking with you. But
I can't believe you just said that. One more slip up like that.
One more slip up and then we're ending the podcast.
I'm quitting this podcast.
Fuck. The end. We haven't even reached episode 10 yet.
I'm just kidding. I could never quit this.
But the way that he performed it, in the okay, again, guys, we're just gonna assume now that you haven't watched the movie. Okay, right here, right now, we're gonna assume it. The way that he portrays his voice in the costume, it's just like he's planned everything out throughout the whole movie. To whenever people kind of mess with him, he kind of loses it. He's like, this is the way it's supposed to be. Let me finish my shit. That's basically his whole mentality or whatever. And even that one scene where the car goes into the church, and the DA or whatever has that bomb around his neck or whatever. DA is trying to figure out what does he want, and Riddler's like, shut up, let me finish. But the way he says it's funny because it feels real. Yeah,
that's another thing that I noticed through this whole movie was when I was watching it, I low-key at some points would get so lost into it that I'm like, this just felt like a real I felt like a real movie like this was like real characters and shit like that. That's just how I was getting lost in this movie. I'm not gonna lie. It is 3 hours long. I didn't really feel like it because I was so invested in it.
Throughout the movie, there's a moment of pure switch up.
Yeah, it will kind of slow down a little bit just to expand on the story, and it'll just kind of fill in little things, and then yeah, like you said, it will just like pick right back up, and then you're right back into it. So there's never a point where it feels like it drags. It's always going, basically. It's always like a roller coaster, I guess.
It is like a roller coaster. There were moments in the movie where it kind of seemed like, oh, we're gonna get like a really boring like couple minutes, maybe like a very quiet small couple minutes, and then it just fucking shoots up again.
Then some action shit will happen like right after.
The fighting sequences are amazing in this.
Fighting sequences are really good. You can see Batman's skill. Another thing about Batman's skill is this man's ingenious. This guy is like the smartest Batman I think I've ever seen. The way he
how the fuck do you make
the way he handles the detective aspect of Batman is like
best detective I've seen.
Best detective, honestly. He the way he pieces everything together. I think there were a couple times where I audibly was like, "Damn!" I don't know if you heard me. Sometimes when he like figures some shit out and he like explains the plan, and I was like, "God, like how did he figure that out?" It's some crazy
again, and then that kind of shows exactly that like his Bruce Wayne is really dedicated to just being Batman.
Yeah,
like Bruce Wayne does not exist.
Yeah, he really doesn't.
And we also get that in that one scene. I'll talk about that scene, but I want to talk about this part of the scene. Is that later on, whenever of course, they do catch the Riddler. Yeah. He does say that like, oh, I know who you really are, and the person that you really are is you right in front of me. Like basically, like he's like you with the mask on.
Yeah.
He's like that's how, and the Riddler's like then that's how I felt whenever I had my mask on. That I was the real version of me. Mm-hmm. So like it's kind of like that aspect of again like who fucking cares who you are under there? You're Batman. Mm-hmm. That's you. Like you like whoever the fuck you thought you were, you weren't.
Yeah. And I think Batman didn't. He kind of did want to be seen that way, but at the same time he didn't. You can kind of tell when he said that to him. It kind of hit him. He was like, "Damn, like I've really just been focusing on this way too much." Yeah. So I think that's when we'll see that little. He'll try to balance it out a little bit. That could be a little foreshadowing to it or something, but.
I think what they also nailed in the movie is. I know.
While he's munching.
While I'm munching, is that the fucking like the double crossers of Gotham, how we see all these police people and DAs or whatever.
And they're actually on the low.
Like, yeah, they're on the low. They're just some money smuggling, like just backstabbers to like their whole city or whatever. And as we've always seen in past movies, is that we always see that James Gordon is the only good guy,
uncorrupt cop.
I actually like one of my favorite parts is that how they show that the Penguin owns that club. Yeah. That was actually really funny. The Ice Lounge, right, or 44 or some shit. I don't know what the fuck it is, but like that's how it is the whole time. And that's like he actually has one in the comics too. So again, they really nailed on a lot of good comic accuracy. Carmine Falcone, done by John what is that? How do you say it? Tredoro? I don't fucking know. The Transformer guy. The Sector 7 guy.
Turturro?
Yeah, he, God, that was a pretty good, he nailed the pretty good, like, mobster vibe, too. And again, I guess the more of the Italian mobster vibe, because Falcone is just some fat fuck in the comics or some shit. And, but here, he's just kind of like, doing his thing, but, like, he also, like, he knows how much power that he has. He can just get away with anything. He knows that he controls the city, and he doesn't. Again, and the best thing is about this is that villains, the different. He's a. How do I say that? He's a villain, but he's not a super villain.
Yeah, these are the most like grounded villains.
Well, whenever you think of a super villain, you think of someone that doesn't really. They kind of just go and corrupt the city and they just do like bullshit on the side. But whenever you think of like a villain, and this is how I see Carmine Falcone, is that he's very much just like he's a sane person same ish, but he doesn't do all this corrupt up. That's just a villain where like he just he's
a bad guy.
Yeah, he's just a bad guy underneath all that. He doesn't like to show what he's doing. He likes to keep everything on the low. That's why he has all this power or whatever. While he has all these other psychopaths going around the city, kind of distracting other people from the fact of what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know? And I think they did a really well part of it. He plays off every single bad incident that he did by not admitting it pretty well.
Yeah, he's a very shady guy.
Very, very shady guy. I really liked all that. What else?
I think they nailed the relationship between Batman and Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, Batman and Catwoman, whatever.
That was.
I think they got their relationship down pretty well because it's kind of like you don't know what the hell is going on with that relationship.
It's really well whenever it comes to like the beginning and beginning of the movie, and what I mean by that is that we see that Selena. You kind of see like she really likes the attention from Batman.
Yeah.
But Batman doesn't really show it, and that's how it's always been in the comics as well. Is that they've always kind of like brought that in, but towards the end, you see that Batman wanted it a little bit more, which I think fucking simp.
He got curved.
He got curved hardcore at the end to where like she became the bigger person ish.
Yeah, I don't blame him though. I think because she was ready to like. Spoiler alert again. She was ready to like just killed that. She was ready to like just run away with Batman after what happens in the city. After what happens in the movie at the end, she's like ready to run away with him. She's like, "Follow me," or like, "Let's go out of Gotham. We'll go like up north or some shit." She says, and we'll just go out there and live our lives. But then Batman's like, "Nah, I'd rather stay here." He's like, "I'm not. I'm not finished." Yeah, he's like, "I'm not finished my work." But
and there's some a whole bunch of other shit is coming up, and we see that. Let me see. Well, actually, I don't want to say that yet because that was a little bit of a good part of the movie. You know, like towards the end.
The prison?
Huh?
The prison? What are you talking about?
No, I'm just talking about like that scene in general. That's like towards the end of the movie because I was gonna go on a fucking rant about the end of the movie already. We haven't even talked about some of the other shit. Riddles were great.
Riddles were fucked.
They're like I was like, okay.
That's one thing is like, me personally think this is a 10 out of 10 movie, and I think it could have been an 11 out of 10 movie if it was low key rated R, because then they could have shown a lot more of the sadisticness of the Riddler, which I feel like should have been for a character like that should have been like shown. Like they obviously imply a lot of the way he like gets his victims and the way he kills them. Like they imply it's always like pretty fucked up. Like it's always.
We got the darkest Riddler that anyone could ever thought of.
Yeah, it's definitely on some. I think they had said like they based him off of the Zodiac Killer. If y'all know the Zodiac Killer is very. But yeah, I think if it was rated R, they could have shown it, and I think I would have felt a lot more scared of the Riddler than I was. Like I was scared of him. Like if that was a real person, I'd be be terrified. But like
there are real people like that
exactly.
out there, and so for people to actually, and again, I'm gonna kind of relate this to this. The only real big psychopathic part that you can really nail is the Joker as a super villain wise, and that's pretty psychotic from like past people that have said even for, as we all know, the most well-performed Joker is Heath Ledger. Yeah. And Joaquin Phoenix, honestly. But again, that's not in like an actual... It's a whole different thing. But like they I never really heard that much of how Joaquin felt, but we all know how Heath felt playing that character and how much he...
it's pure like method acting. Right
yeah,
there.
exactly. And it really became his personality. Like it really like could control him. He became the Joker.
Yeah.
And even for Jack Nicholson not even being like that big of a part of like his Joker, he still said that it was really hard to kind of get back to the normal side. So how do you think it felt for Paul Otto to play that much of a psychopath. But I mean, again, taking it back now, like literally right this instant, I forgot. I literally just said he's played psychopaths in the past, so I'm pretty sure that like this was nothing.
It is nothing.
It was like, oh, okay, same shit.
It's more he has to nail that mental state of a psychopath down, which he's very good at doing. Is getting into the mindset of a psychopath, which he honestly did it very well. But yeah, I think Heath Ledger is still the best in terms of that kind of villain. Because when I rewatched it last night, I think that's like the best part of that whole trilogy. Of course, is just Heath Ledger's Joker.
It's him just throughout it.
Because he is invested in that role. And, like, I had forgot that I was watching an actor play this character. I thought I was just watching that character.
And then what I can kind of just, like, what I can contrast from both the someone playing the Joker and this Riddler is that we see that the Joker is actually more of a... You know he's psychopathic, but he has fun with it, and he thinks that everything is just like, oh, okay, whatever. This this Riddler that we have,
because the Joker is very smart. Whenever his plan like gets messed up, he always has like 3 backup plans, so he can always kind of counter it.
Whenever it comes to the Riddler in this movie, though, he like that's pure psychopath. Like he's like, how do I say it? Like the way that he's definitely not a trained killer.
No.
Like you can see that first kill that he does. He's like, oh, like,
yeah, he just.
But like he misses and he falls or whatever, and he just goes back to do it and whatever. And we kind of see that like, oh, he's just a normal mental fucked up guy.
Yeah.
I think the only time that we actually really see him like do something is whenever spoiler alert, whenever he fucking shoots Carmine Falcone like out of nowhere. That's his only like fucking actual bullet shot that he gets it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Carmine Falcone, again, there's no way that I can really like say this for the way that they kind of like built up to it. Again, we kind of see that like we see a little bit. They try to make it where we get to know Selena Kyle a little bit better, but again, I didn't really pay attention to that much because I kind of already knew the whole aspect of Catwoman, and she did that. The only twist about it was whenever she's talking to Batman and that up top roof scene, they're trying like, hey, let's like we got to take out these mobsters because they took my friend or whatever. And there's another scene where Carmine Falcone and Selena Kyle meet in that underground like booth where she's like interrogating, or not interrogating, but like finding out where her friend is at and shit.
Yeah.
To where Carmine Falcone comes up and kind of like all touching her, like all like, and you kind of get the sense of like they got some little history and it was all like weird and jitty and shit like that. But whenever they later on say that they're at that roof and they're like, oh, like how do you know Carmine Falcone? Like how do you know like all these people, whatever? Thinking that like I think in Batman's mind is like he's trying to get her to say like maybe she's a little skank.
Yeah, I mean, he might be.
Yeah, like but then she's finally like he's like what like how do you know? So like, oh, because he's my father and all that stuff. And that was when I was like, oh shit! I was like, okay. Yeah. I was like, they really just switched it up just like that, and that kind of made the whole sense of the movie a little bit more of a instead of Carmine Falcone just being out of known, I guess like bad guy. He actually has a relationship to make the tension between upcoming scenes more like meaningful or whatever, and we see like later on like oh like well if you're not gonna help me I'm just gonna go do it myself. We see that Selena tries to kill him.
She wants to kill him.
But
shit that he did.
Batman, I guess this is the point where we get to the movie where like Batman's kind of
playing it smart.
He's playing it smart, but I was building up those feelings towards her to where like I really don't want her to go down that path.
Yeah.
So like he's starting to build up the feeling of it. Like, of course, more of the story is she tries to kill Carmine. Batman comes is like, bro, you do this, you're just gonna be just like the. I feel like we hear that a lot in like movies too, and we see a lot of scenes like that. You do this,
you're gonna end up just like them.
Like, dude, how many movies have there been with that?
It's always a classic.
But it was still a good one. Of course, they wanted to see like Carmine go to jail. Carmine's like, oh, I'm not going to fucking jail. I'm in this fucking city.
He's like, I'll see you when I walk out.
And then when they walk out, they got all the boys in blue.
Yeah, all the boys in blue are waiting for him. He's like, I got all the police force under my belt. And then he walks out and they're all posted up. They're like, oh, not these guys. That's a pretty cool. No, it's not. Never mind.
I mean, if you think it's cool, it's fucking cool.
No, it was alright.
It was alright scene?
It was
alright. Fuck you. It was a cool scene.
It was alright.
And then he just gets fucking murked.
Yeah, then he gets sniped. But it looked like it was the penguin.
It really did look like, dude, hey, but the thing is, why the fuck still didn't they like arrest his ass? He pulled a fucking gun out.
I think they did. They detained. Well, I mean, I think they had a bigger. It was like the penguin who didn't kill this guy, or the serial killer we tracked him down for like.
But I mean, I'm pretty sure not all those fucking cops went into that fucking apartment.
No, I think they detained the penguin, but then he was like, I didn't.
Yeah, that motherfucker. I didn't shoot the damn. Did you see how long that shit was? Like he fucking whipped it out, bro.
He pulled it out, yeah.
Yeah, no. What do you mean by that, Brandon? What do you mean whip it out?
He just pulled it out. Okay, that's. What do you
mean you pulled it out?
What are you implying?
Either way,
moving on.
I hope y'all get a kick out of that.
Alright.
Joe. Okay, we're getting a little off track.
Call back.
But yeah, then we end up finding out like where the Riddler is and all that stuff, like in his apartment, like where the fuck, like what he's been doing this whole time, all that stuff, and then we see that they get a call to get the Riddler, but I'm gonna get to that right after I say this.
Let me hear it.
It just came into my mind, and I'm sorry that I didn't mention this earlier. And of course, this definitely is a major character, comic-wise, movie-wise, all this stuff. But to me, it really didn't perceive it as that way, and it's really making me kind of disappointed that it doesn't do that to the fullest of extent anymore. Because the only time that I really had a special bond with that character is in the Dark Knight trilogy. But I don't think they have been nailing the perspective of Alfred as well as they used to. And again, like they just think like, oh, you just need to get an old British dude. I'm like, Alfred's not like just that. He's always been the more proper one of the family, and I get it for the way that the tone of the movie is. He's definitely like a little more, I don't know how you say it, not like a messy butler, like not like a messy butler, but like he's not as top notch as
he's
he
not as
is.
proper.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
But again, Andy Serkis, he actually had a good. I think I may be wrong. I know that Colin Farrell is Australian, but what is? No, he's straight up British. But I mean, for real, like, you kind of like
straight up British.
He actually has a how do I say it? A little. I know how he talks, but he and like in actual acting, but he has a much different switch into giving a really well Alfred-esque voice, and I like that of him as well. But there really wasn't any like big deal with him, and I actually do love Alfred as a character. But again, he was kind of just there. He did a good job for what he had to do, dude. This motherfucker survived a fucking Riddler explosion.
Bomb right to his face, and he survived it.
Dude, imagine! Dude, I honestly thought they killed him off.
I thought they did too.
Dude,
I was like, ain't no way.
Because like you know that like you don't believe it. Like whenever you see like other movies, because they really don't like show anything. But this movie made it believable. I was like, no way, they just killed fucking Alfred.
Yeah, because they set it up like that was supposed to be Batman, but then Alfred just got the butt of it, and it was like, damn, they really
shit went crazy.
Like I know it wasn't gonna kill Batman, but like it could have killed Alfred.
Uh-huh.
That scene was great, honestly. Him racing back when he found out about it, that was cool. That was a really cool scene. You see like pure, I don't even know what you call it. Pure emotion in that one.
That was right after the penguin chase.
Yeah, so he went immediately from that to that.
He was zooming on the hell. Speaking of that chase, that's a pretty good ass chase.
I'm not a big fan of like car scenes, but like that was a good Batman chasing Penguin on.
Not even just that. Oh yeah, well, yeah. Like the bring in of the new Batmobile was amazing. That motherfucker was
cool.
revving up, bro. Like,
he was actually like charging the hell up.
Like he wanted to show. He was like, I'm about to show you what he said. On that bitch up.
He did. He really did that.
No, I love that Batmobile. Like that's such a cool Batmobile.
It was really cool.
It's so like modern-esque to where the only thing I can kind of compare it to is that it would gotta be like an Adam West type like old Batman car, but like in our time.
Yeah.
Robert, people are gonna think, oh, you're saying that Robert Pattinson's our Adam West?
Yes.
I mean, it could be. Who knows?
He might be, but yeah, no, that Batmobile's crazy, honestly.
The fucking the booster after that, the chase. No, next part, the interrogation of the Penguin is fucking hilarious.
That's one of the greatest things I think I've ever seen.
Larada.
I loved seeing him because they tie up the Penguin and then they kind of dip on him and leave him tied up, and then you see him
waddle like a penguin, bro. That was
it's so. Good,
honestly, it's one of my favorite parts of the whole movie.
That was really good. Just symbolism, y'all get it. But
the way he's just talking throughout the whole interrogation scene too was just funny. He said, La Rada. El Rada.
El Rada.
I don't know, but at least I know my fucking Spanish. That shit was fucking hilarious. Of course, Alfred doesn't die. We all know that.
Would have been too soon.
God, that would have sucked though.
Who would have helped Batman?
Exactly, he would have been working solo.
He literally needs help.
He can't do this on his own. Or at least like not even like he kind of was. We've seen past that Alfred has helped.
He kind of helps him just build
Bruce,
shit.
like here and there, but in this movie, it's more of like a help him to keep his actual life in check.
Yeah, it's actually he's the one that's keeping Bruce Wayne's like whole assets and everything. He's keeping Wayne, the Wayne name, basically what it is. Because if Alfred wasn't there handling everything, then Wayne Industries or whatever would have just plummeted. So he's the one holding that together. But like, yeah, in the past, especially with like Ben Affleck's Alfred, he was the one that like built everything for him. In The Dark Knight, it was Morgan Freeman's character, Fox, that kind of like built his gadgets and stuff. Alfred kind of just helped him with the more detective aspect of it. This one kind of seemed like maybe it was a little bit of a balance.
I think we're gonna get since you just brought up Fox, I think we're gonna get a Fox soon.
Yeah.
Because he's a major part in it and everything also.
Yeah. But, damn, what else?
I mean, sorry, Bat Sammy.
Bat Sammy go dummy?
I think we really covered some of the parts of throughout the movie. But to the point where we can get to this part where they finally arrest the Riddler. And we kind of see just like through that part where he's getting arrested that he actually is glad to see Batman.
Yeah.
And he's like,
finally see Batman.
He's like, because I remember like he said he's been reaching him throughout that whole time, right?
Yeah.
Trying to get to you, I need you, all that stuff. Everything is for Batman. And we see the really psychopathic killer. Sorry about this. The really psychopathic killer and the Riddler. Whenever it comes to like, my main goal was to get to Batman. Like, so yeah, I mean,
just to get face to face with him.
And he finally gets it. We see a little bit of Arkham Asylum, which is it's more of a. I like it. I like the way that they do it. It's not like a regular ass prison, but like it has some security because these guys are fucking need it.
Yeah. Literal supervillains.
But whenever they finally do it, we also get, as we know, the Riddler is smart, and again, it's so stupid that like that they really try and keep the secret identity aspect like very low key for the villains. It's like that's not their main priority. Like all they want to do is just create mayhem, all this stuff. Like who gives a fuck who Batman is, right?
Yeah.
But in that scene, we see him open up Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Like just like that, and it's just like what the fuck? I'm like there's no way this guy like honestly I don't think I would have liked the movie if he found out who Bruce was.
If he found out, or if he didn't?
If he if he found out. No, he doesn't know.
That he's Bruce Wayne?
No, he doesn't.
What?
Watch this. So I'm gonna get back to that. Look, so he says it. He keeps on saying Bruce Wayne over and over again, right?
Yeah.
Thinking that like, holy fuck, like this guy knows who the fuck I am because like, oh, Bruce Wayne wasn't actually dead. He's like, but then he's like, Bruce Wayne's the only one that we didn't get, and they kind of like, oh, he doesn't know, you know?
You sure?
No, because
I think he knew.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't because that's why he said what, like literally what I just said. He was like, that's the only one we never got, and like, and I think the reason that he kept on saying Bruce Wayne throughout the whole time and repeating like who Bruce Wayne is and all this stuff or whatever is because he's so obsessed that he got to kill everyone that he needed on his list but Bruce Wayne. So Bruce Wayne was on his mind. Bruce Wayne was on his mind. And this whole time, he mentions that quote unquote Batman is helping him get his victims, right?
Yeah.
But he's just saying the reason he's saying that is because like Batman didn't help him get it. He's just like, bro, like we almost like and like. If you really look at it, Riddler's basically saying, like, fuck, we almost had, like me and him. Like, he's just thinking about Batman as Batman, Bruce Wayne as Bruce Wayne. We almost had him, or whatever. It's the only one that we just didn't guess, but I guess we'll just get him, like, another time or whatever. It's basically, like, what he's saying. That's what I got out of it. And then the more and more I looked at it, because whenever he even came to the part of saying that like I said, I don't care who you are underneath. It's just you right here in front of me. That's the real you. Like, who gives a fuck about the guy underneath the mask? And then I know even on the wall he says, I know who you are. And the reason that he says, I know who you are is because you're just the Batman.
That makes sense, I guess.
See, I broke it down so well, bro.
I guess I need to watch it again.
Dude. That's what I caught, like, that first time I was like, oh, shit, that's pretty badass or whatever. But he's like, you know what? It's all fine. You still helped me this far, and we're going to be, we still got like work to do or whatever. It was like, but he's kind of like, what do you mean by that or whatever? It was like, oh, you didn't figure it out. You're not as smart as I thought.
Yeah.
And he's like, go back to the part. He's basically just telling them that. But also the Riddler, like, he freaks out. Yeah. He freaks out about like, you didn't figure it out. Like no, like he does that. He says that. No, it's a funny no, but like it's kind of scary at the same time too. No, because he's like, I think that part kind of confuses me because I don't know if I can see it in two ways. It's either Riddler wanted to see like Batman die, or no, wanted to see him kind of like save the city, or what he'd do whenever he found out that the fucking pipes or not the pipes, the buses were gonna blow up and have all the water come in. And I was like, bro, what are you trying to do? I was like, aren't you kind of glad that he didn't find your shit? But like, it's like, the Riddler wants him to find his shit, just so he can see like what the fuck's gonna happen next, you know?
Just because because I think it ruins the fun that he didn't figure it out. Because then he thinks he's done, and he's like, and all of a sudden these bombs are gonna explode. Because like they were gonna go off regardless, but I think he wanted Batman to know they were gonna go off, so that way Batman can feel helpless about it. You know what I mean? Because that's how he feels. I mean, it's in like different corners of the city and the perimeter. He can't stop them all at once, and I think that's what he wanted Batman to feel, was that he literally couldn't do anything about it in that instant.
But that was really crazy how the what's that? What did they say that little murdering stick that he had was? Like, what was it?
I don't know. Some carpenter's tool though.
Yeah.
That they used it to strip flooring.
I like that part of that movie because it was like, bro, like he's a real like psychopath for planning out all the way for that.
But he's really smart.
Yeah, dude.
He's an actual genius.
Like I'm like, bro, like goddamn, like I would be tripping out if shit like that were to happen around here, bro.
I know. Ain't nobody figuring that out here.
I mean, I think we'd be fine if we're all the way on the 3rd floor and the water hit.
Yeah, we might be.
The podcast goes on.
Just swim. We'll just swim.
That
was a rip, honestly.
That was a rip. But then for him to find it out, he's just like, oh no. And he's talking on the video and he sees that like he has like a whole bunch of followers. And that's crazy how...
That was crazy. I like that little aspect of it.
He has so many other followers.
That he has like 500 something followers on like this social media, like the Riddler. And they're all like backing him up.
That's so funny.
It's so,
how do you not
like,
figure out that there's a website called The Riddler you don't want to go and check up on?
Yeah. Lorada.com. That was interesting, but
for all that water to come in and completely tear up a city like that is crazy.
I was really surprised that they did that. I was like, damn, dude, we actually flooded this whole goddamn city.
Bro, and I was
like his whole plan worked. He literally did everything that he wanted to do. You see a little
glimpse of that scene on a trailer, but you think it's just like, oh, it's going to be something easy to fix or whatever.
Going through the water?
But like, fuck, bro, like, honestly, like, that moment, Batman low-key lost.
He did lose. He actually did lose. All the people that died during that probably,
bro, dude, he fucking, dude, how does one recover from that, especially, like, from Gotham? Gotham's going to go, like, on deep, like...
Yeah.
Like, depressed mode, bro.
Yeah. And that scene is where, like I said earlier, this is where he steps into the Batman role. Because he kind of has to make a choice after this thing floods. They're all holed up in Madison Square Garden. And he basically has to be, like, the hero. Like, he actually has to be the hero because no one else, the cops aren't going to do it. And he has to, like, save everybody, pull them out of the water, and then, you know, they show the whole...
They showed that
evacuation.
Evacuation scene.
He's actually like helping. Whereas I think at the beginning of the movie, if something like that happened, I don't think he would have really done something like that. But like you can kind of see him change over the course of the movie, where again he becomes a hero rather than a vigilante, and you can see that people are noticing it. Like they show the lady like clutching his arm.
Yeah, like that was like bro, he sees him as like, that as their hero,
savior, yeah,
as their Dark Knight. Okay. The Batman Dark Knight 2.
the Dark Knight 2 extended.
The Batman what was it?
The Dark Batman.
The Dark Batman. The multiverse Batman. The Dark Knight crossover.
I would love to see that. No, I hope Robert Pattinson just stays to himself. I hope they don't try to do some weirdo shit with this.
They got some portal shit. They fucking take a whole Spider-Man turn.
I hope not, bro. If I see Ben Affleck meet with Robert Pattinson, I'm not watching that movie. I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you?
I'm not about it. I'm not.
You want to see? We want to see a Christian Bale, Ben Affleck.
I don't want to see it.
You know,
I'd rather see Christian Bale and
if they
Robert
wanted to do
Pattinson.
something like that, that it would definitely be those trio because it would be Christian Bale, the grandfather, which is No, watch.
Well, Michael Keaton's already coming back.
I know, but like if they were to do a movie with those three, it would be Christian Bale, the Godfather, which is like their Tobey Maguire, or like our Tobey Maguire. And then Ben Affleck is defined as Andrew Garfield, who is the failing superhero actor.
Yeah.
Bro, dude, I'm telling you, the Let's Show, and then Robert Pattinson and Tom Holland are saviors.
I didn't want to be on board on that, but but that makes sense. It really makes sense. I'm not even gonna lie. Regardless, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
Fucking make sure you're
Warner Brothers, please.
Warner Brothers gonna pull something out of our ass, like, but dude, Warner Brothers, if you pull that shit, I'm gonna.
If I see Robert Pattinson in the Flashpoint movie, I'm out. I'm out.
You're out from what? You're out from the Flash. Or you're out from the future movies.
Everything. I'm walking out of that theater, and then I'm never watching a DC movie ever again. That's just.
Dude, that's so stupid.
Anyways,
back to a movie that has nothing to do with any CGI shit.
Anyways, 10 out of 10 movie. Just had to throw that out there because I don't think it's hitting enough. But this is the most perfect movie ever. Go on. Go ahead and say it.
What?
No, just kidding.
God damn!
I thought you were gonna say no. My fault. That was a little hostile. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, stop gaslighting me, bro.
I really did.
We do not promote gaslighting.
We do not promote gaslighting. Please, anti.
But the yeah, for him to become like a symbol of like a hero within that little bit of time is really crazy. That is cool. And then of course we see that like the Riddler sees like on the news that he's like, oh no, my fucking like plan failed, like what the fuck, like this is supposed to go different, like this is supposed to go this way or whatever. And that shows that like, you know, through it all, even if like the bad guy does win, I'm gonna try and kind of relate to real life here, just with everything going on in the world. But whenever bad shit happens, again, like it's only a bad thing for like a little bit, and it just depends what kind of change you're gonna make to be the symbol of hope. There's always still hope out there for there to be not the best ending, but a better ending, you know? So stay up out there, protect yourselves, you know?
Yeah, be safe, everyone.
Be safe when doing all this stuff. I think that's what kind of like the movie was kind of teaching us, like, you know, just seeing that as a little bigger picture. And then what's the final shot? Actually, wait, before we even get to the final shot,
we didn't talk about the prison scene.
So
the other prison
when he starts freaking out, we see someone talking to him in another cell.
As soon as I heard that voice, I knew exactly who it was.
No, I knew who it was, but whenever I heard it, I didn't know who it was gonna be. Like I didn't.
I knew
like,
it. I was like.
So whenever that happened, we're seeing like oh, like who's there, whatever. It's just all this whatever crap, and I look at it and I first see, I think it's Two-Face. Did you think that it was Two-Face when you first saw it? No.
No, I thought it was. I could tell by the way he was talking.
No, so I thought it was Two-Face because of the facial figure. You know how like it looked a little messed up and shit.
The hair, I think, kind of throws it off. Too.
Yeah, the hair threw it off. But looking at that, I was like, damn, this is gonna be a Riddler Two-Face. I was like, the return,
which I would have been cool either way.
A redemption, of fucking bullshit. Jim Carrey
after that stupid ass Two-Face that we got.
Tommy Lee Jones as fucking Two-Face.
I don't want to talk about that one. It was a different time, I guess, so I can't hold it against them.
Yeah, I guess they really wanted to. They were trying to go comic accurate there, but it just didn't work. But he keeps on talking over and over again, and I kind of just like, I see the smile, you know, I see it. Like
you can kind of see his little
grin face right there. The hair, I thought it threw me off, but I thought it was cool at the same time.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, the hair, I was like, is that what first?
And then he starts laughing.
Then he starts laughing.
But he starts laughing.
But it builds laugh. Like at first you're like, first I was like, this doesn't sound like the laugh.
And then
it keeps going.
It hits a better level, bro.
Like,
so we officially will be having our own Robert Pattinson Joker.
Yes, sir.
But
played by none other than
Barry Keoghan.
Which, if y'all don't know who that is,
he's from Eternals.
He's from Eternals. That's Druig. Girls might know who that is.
Exactly.
I think they all love Druig.
Yeah, apparently you guys love like he got a white ass haircut on this picture I'm looking at right here, but you know, it's all Gucci. He played a pretty good role in the Eternals, but we're actually getting our first young Joker ever.
And that's gonna be crazy because he has not only that, but he has a lot to kind of what should I say? He has to step up to the plate, kind of thing. He has to follow Heath Ledger and Joaquin Phoenix, so he's got to put himself up on that level.
I want to see I don't want to see him just in the second movie. I want to see him in like upcoming movies here and there because a Joker is.
It's a constant in Batman.
But for Batman, of course.
Like constant in Batman's career.
You need to keep this going. We need to see the build-up of Joker instead of being those movies where like you only bring one movie in. You only bring one villain in for one movie and then you kind of forget about them in the next. And you would never see like a great villain ever again, you know?
Yeah.
Make him an amazing Joker. If he can top Heath Ledger, that'd be crazy.
If he can even get close, I'd be okay with it. Because, I mean, putting that, you know, Heath Ledger is goated. Joaquin Phoenix is reaching GOAT status if he hasn't gotten it already. So now he has to step up to that. And I think he could do it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen him in other films, you know?
Yeah, I had some faith in that laugh after I heard it. After the first one, I was like,
I think he kind of has.
It sounds pretty good.
He kind of has that kind of like slight Joker voice.
He has that maniacal part of it, I think, down. But
he has a slight little Joker voice esque. You kind of hear like that. I don't know how to explain it. Like, you know how Joker has that. You know.
Yeah. He's got that sly kind of voice.
Joker with green spiky hair. This would be cool. This would be nice. And what I really am like just hoping is that like how they're really gonna top how crazy the Riddler is, and this means this Joker is just gonna have to be like.
That's what I'm saying. So next Batman has to be rated R then. If they bring the Joker in,
next Batman just has to be crazier in general.
I think it will be. This one you can tell was more of a. I think the way I explained it to someone was that it's not so much a superhero movie; it's a superhero like film. If that makes sense, like it takes a step beyond it just being an action movie, whatever the hell about a superhero. This is like a whole ass like film, you know. It's like cinema, basically. But
well, we do know that this is the DCEU's Earth 2, so let's hope that they don't fuck it up.
Yeah, let's hope not. I guess before we end, we did get a DM. Somebody said that they want us to compare this movie to Spider-Man.
I didn't really understand it in a sense. I was like, you want us to compare the movie or do you want us to compare the characters?
I think just like pin them against each other. The way I was kind of thinking about it when I was reading that, and I was like, how do you compare the two movies? Because one, it's two very different universes. So Spider-Man, I think, is still a personal favorite movie just because it's Spider-Man. You know, just that being both my and his favorite character. It's still one of our favorite superheroes. That's still a good movie, but it's more so off of the nostalgia because, spoiler for No Way Home, of course, you know that the other two, past Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, are in it, and that's more of a hype aspect. And I think that's why I would say I love that movie very much. I don't know about you, I'm sure you like it because of that. But it has more of a hype aspect. This movie is great. Not so much for the hype. Like, it was very hyped, but just because it's actually, like, a great movie. Like, No Way Home, if you looked at that as a movie and you put it against this Batman movie, I'd say I like Batman more as a movie, but I like Spider-Man more just because of the hype. And because, to be honest, I've never been a very big DC fan in general. I'm more of a Marvel fan. But I'm honestly praising this Batman movie so much, and I probably will like forever because it's just a great movie. No,
it's amazing, and it's just for that being like that first one. Like, I hope that it's just the like the same effort as it, or even greater. Again, everyone wants to shoot for greater. When they kind of you shoot for a movie like with great expectations already, it kind of like fails just a bit, or you can really build it up to it. But if they can keep that balance of how, like, you know, I guess, how do you say, like, twins, like, of each other of a movie, I think they'll be able to.
Yeah, I don't think they should. I think if they shoot to make it greater is when it fails. But if they kind of shoot for it to be on the same level as this movie, like you were kind of saying, yeah, I think it would work. But,
but I'm really excited for what is to come. This movie is just, I love this costume. I'm in love with it. Like there's
a great costume.
We see exactly how many gadgets he actually has on this hoe.
He whipped out a couple gadgets. He's effective.
He has the second best with most gadgets ever as Aiden playing Batman. Number 1, Adam West. Tell me whenever you have fucking shark repellent.
I'm gonna pretend you didn't just use that as an example.
When dude, Adam West had everything on that belt, but you know, Robert Pattinson had a whole bunch of shit, and
he busted out the flight suit,
dude.
He went squirrel mode.
He busted out the flight suit, but he also busted out the fucking adrenaline, bro.
The stim shot,
bro.
He actually busted out a stim shot. He has a point where he gets blasted with a shotgun, and he's like fighting for his life, about to die, I think, and then he sees Selena Kyle getting messed up, and he's like, "Oh hell no!"
He's like,
and he actually just stims himself. It's crazy.
He goes out, bro, and
he goes berserk
on
this
no
one just
back.
Regular thug just mashing his face. I think he gets like 15 licks on his face, and then he takes off this thug's mask, and he's like, it's literally like smushed. I don't know how that guy didn't die. I said that. I don't know how he didn't die. I took 15 full strength
Batman punches bro.
from Batman,
bro, anyone, just the slightest touch of the knuckles when I'm dead. Not even the full squish on the face.
I'd probably die on the first punch, but I guess he's just different. So, that Doug was just different, I guess.
That guy was just chilling, straight chilling. But yeah, man, for everything that he has on there is crazy. The bat bike that we got at the end of the movie, it's gonna be pretty cool.
Another thing that we didn't mention, the theme, the score, the music of the movie was great. That Batman theme, they played it, I think, a couple times throughout the movie, but like they played it in the most important times where it was like he was actually being Batman, then the theme would come on and that theme
in the shadows, hits, bro.
Yes.
The shadows is different, bro.
Hits. Oh my god.
No, yeah, definitely whenever piano guy went off, I love this.
Because especially at the end, stay through the end and listen to the theme.
I like the theme because it's like you kind of get like an old Michael Keaton, like the Batman, the theme vibe right there, mixed in with like a modern day esque type whatever we have, and for it to like come together and sound like oh man, maybe like
it's very.
We always thought that was the Batman theme, but like what, like this sounds like one, sounds like the Batman theme, bro.
It's so intimidating and everything. It actually, I don't think very many scores or themes really fit the perfect vibe of their respective like character, but this one fits. This one hits so well.
Hits different.
But just had to throw that out there.
I love that thing so much. Oh, also that rock song too. That's always plays. The
yeah. I know exactly. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
The shit. I think. How many times did that come out of the movie? It probably came out.
That one I think played like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, 2 or 3 times. I like to.
And it was pretty good.
Every time it came out, I was like, "This is nice."
It really was.
I was crazy for that, bro. Goddamn.
Anyways.
Hashtag donate $1 to Gotham. Save Gotham. Hashtag save Gotham.
Hashtag save Gotham. They're struggling out here. We send the troops over.
Yeah, we'll be making a donation box, a little GoFundMe. Hashtag GoFund Gotham.
Hashtag GoFund Gotham. That's a good one.
I'm telling you, fucking just save it so we can get this other movie. You know what I'm saying?
They need it, please. Give them the funds, bro.
Is there anything else you want to add from the movie? Anything you remember? Anything that we've missed about just this Batman in general? Like, did we cover like the main parts?
No, I think we covered pretty much everything. I mean, we've been praising this movie the whole time, so yeah, I think they get what we're trying to say about this movie. It's a great movie, fantastic, and perfect movie.
You need to watch it.
It's basically it.
I felt like this for it being a superhero movie. This would be a perfect watch for people that aren't even. They like to set different genres of movies, but I think that this movie packed all of it together to where.
That's another thing, because you don't even need to be like, you don't need to be a big superhero fan or DC fan in general. Like, I keep saying this, like, I was watching the movie and I was getting so invested in the movie that I wasn't really paying attention to it as like a DC movie, and like it has other characters that are tied in with this universe. You know, I was watching it and I was like, this just feels really like its own thing, and it really is. But that's just kind of how I felt about it. But.
No, I get you. But God, go watch the movie.
Please go watch this movie.
Please, and you can definitely listen to this, of course. So we just talk about just everything of just how amazing this fucking movie is, man. I love this.
I'm definitely gonna watch it 1 or 2 more times.
No, I might watch it a lot, bro.
It's really good. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
I don't even think the thing about it is that they did really well of not really adding like Easter eggs.
Yeah, exactly. I think it kind of proved the whole point. Like, you don't need crazy ass tie-ins, crazy ass cameos or anything to, like, in a universe like this, to have a successful movie. Like,
exactly, and it's more of like fan service. You know, that's the only reason that like these movies.
That's another comparison with No Way Home, is that one's like really fan service. This one isn't.
Yeah,
that's another thing.
God, I think people hate on me for saying this, but I do think that the runtime for almost being a 3-hour movie, I think it did even better than Avengers Endgame. Don't hate on me. not as
I agree
like again fan service wise,
yeah,
because it is a fan service movie, but it's because God, it didn't even feel like a 3-hour movie. That's crazy.
It really didn't. Yeah. No, I really didn't. Anyways, moral of the story, again, just go watch the movie. Please do yourself the favor and watch the movie.
And someone record the movie for me so I can watch it on my phone.
Yeah, send us the link for that.
So we can watch it. So we can do a reaction.
Yeah.
We'll make it seem like we did some first reaction.
Yeah,
Whoa! But, fucking Batman in the Shadows, keep on doing that. Keep on fucking doing it. Whatever. But, we want to thank you guys again for joining us for this episode. This was a... I think we did better talking about a 3-hour movie than we did with Spider-Man No Way Home, but again, that had more movies in there. Yeah. But shit,
yeah,
this is how like a basic movie review would go with us. Yeah. Like
we actually broke it down this time.
We broke it down to like what we did. We have to drag it on about it.
Yeah, we did. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, it's another long episode, but
love the Batman love.
Yeah.
We got to keep on. I hope. We didn't even mention that just last part of this, there actually will be spinoffs for some of these characters. There's actually a Penguin spinoff that's coming out, and a Catwoman spinoff, and then a GCPD spinoff. And,
we're winning.
And
we are here winning.
Damn, what I really think about that, I think that like, damn, this next movie's really not gonna come out for like another 4 or 5 years.
It's gonna be a while.
In
this universe, it's gonna be a minute before we get another.
Holy shit! But I pray for the day I get to see it. # bring Joker.
Please have him in the next.
Bring him
movie.
the hype.
If they don't give him his own movie next, you never know. But
yeah, but we love you, Robert Pattinson. We love you, Robert Pattinson.
Batman. It's my Batman now. That's also my Catwoman. Shout out Zoe Kravitz.
Shout out Zoe Kravitz.
Killed it.
You're beautiful. I love you. Shout out Paul Dano again. You're amazing. Shout out all the whole cast. And thank you for bringing a really well-known superhero into a really the best perspective you could really brought in.
Greatest unique takes.
So we really want to thank DC and especially Matt Reeves.
For once, yeah.
Matt Reeves, thank you. And Warner Brothers, don't fuck it up.
Please. Dear God, please.
Please don't do this. But again, thank you for joining us for this episode.
Thanks for the love.
And we've made it pretty far. And episode 10 is
tomorrow.
That next one. So
that one's going to be crazy.
That one's going to go dummy. And you guys are definitely not going to want to miss this. But also check this one out first.
Please.
And thank you for the love and support. Thank you for everything that you guys have just been doing for us and giving us actual feedback for everything. We are eternally grateful, and we'll keep on doing our thing. Get ready for the next episode, really. And, that's basically it for today. We just talked Geek for a sec.
Talked to Geek for a little bit. We did our thing. You know how it is.
We just always be doing that. We'll keep on going. So, I'm Nene.
I'm Brandon.
And we'll see y'all later. Deuces.
Who?
Vengeance.
You heard it here, folks. Heard it here first.
I'm Batman. I really do be Batman.
This guy kind of is Batman.
Who are you? I do be Batman.
Really?
Oh, God.
I'm gonna make that the intro.
Huh?
What?
You're gonna make that into
the intro.
I'm Batman.
That was actually pretty good. You were kind of hitting it.
I was hitting that shit right there.
You were kind of hitting it.
Get it. I don't think I want to write notes for this one, so I think we're just gonna wing it.
No!